Big Mama story time. Story time. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my page. Thank you all for tuning in today. Hi, Big Mama Storytime listeners. Thank you all for tuning in on today with another story. Today I will be reading Flat Stanley's Worldwide Adventures, the Intrepid Canadian Expedition. All right, these has different chapters, so I will be reading like the first chapter or different stories to the same book. So I will be reading like one chapter first and then the next chapter another day and another day. So it will be like part 2, part 3, part 4. So tune in to that. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my videos so that you could get the second, third, fourth, and so on parts. Also for the notifications. All right, let's get into Flat Stanley. Now, I've heard about these books, these stories before, but I've never read them. This will be my actual first time with Flat Stanley. So tell me what you all think about Flat Stanley and if you like this book. All right. The first chapter, as you can see, is 8 of them. 8 of them. So the first chapter will be Stanley Goes Skiing. So let's get into this. All these pages, sorry you guys. Trying to get here fast enough. All right. Stanley Goes Skiing. Ha ha. Arthur lamb chop crowd as he skied past his older brother Stanley. Last one to the bottom is a frozen pancake. Stanley grunted as he dug his poles into the snow and strained against the frosty Canadian wind, ever since he had awakened to find himself flattened by a bulletin board. Stanley had been putting up with Arthur's teasing about his shape. He didn't really mind. Arthur was a good brother, cheerful and loyal and a lot of fun. And so what if being flat made it nearly impossible to ski? It has some mighty big advantages. For instance, Stanley could now travel by mailing himself anywhere in the world for a fraction of the cost of airfare. And excuse me, guys. And he sure had a lot of adventures that would not have been available to a rounder boy. His shape had been a big help to others. Also, Stanley allowed himself to a little smile of pride as he flapped another few feet down the slope. Wasn't his mother wearing her favorite ring? Because he had been able to slip down into a storm drain to retrieve it. Wasn't Abraham Lincoln's nose still in place at Mount Rushmore? Because he had turned himself into a human band-aid. And right now, weren't there a couple of museum sneak thieves playing poker in the city jail who were very sorry indeed they'd ever run into a boy flat enough to pose as a painting? Just then, Arthur whizzed by for a second time. "See you around," he shouted. Stanley struggled harder against the wind and reminded himself even more firmly he should not feel sorry for himself. Why? Already on his vacation, his flatness had been an advantage because he could simply bend his legs at the knees. He had not need to rent skis with the money this had saved. The lamb chop family had enjoyed a hot chocolate party in the lodge the night before. Stanley paused to catch his breath. Really? So what if he wasn't aerodynamic anymore? The sun was shining on the snow-capped mountains, and the air felt fresh on his cheeks. The scene spread below him was straight out of a winter wonderland postcard. Over on The expert trail daredevils were enjoying the jumps, leaping and twisting in the air in front of him. Brightly dressed skiers swooshed by tall, frosted pines. By the color of their parkas, Stanley recognized a band of kids he and Arthur had met the day before. He watched as his brother dashed down the mountain to them now. Everyone waved merrily to one another, and their shouts of greeting drifted up the mountain. And there in the middle of the trail, Stanley sank to the snow in defeat. He couldn't deny it anymore. Lately, his flatness had made him feel he just didn't have much in common with other people. Lately, it had made him feel lonely. Oh, Stanley. Tears froze on his eyelashes. Stanley brushed them off to watch Arthur and the other kids weave in and out of each other's paths, gliding gleefully down the mountain. Suddenly, though, Arthur shouted something and broke off from the group. He was heading toward the daredevil skiers. Stanley scrambled to his feet. "No, Arthur!" he cried. "There are jumps!" Too late. Stanley watched in horror as his brother flew up in the air and then crashed in a pinwheel of skis and poles and flying gloves. Without a second thought, Stanley angled his body edgewise into the wind like the blade of a knife. He ripped down the mountain at a terrifying speed, and within seconds he was at his brother's side. "Are you all right?" Stanley asked. He offered Arthur his hand to help him up. Just then, a boy about Stanley's age skidded to a stop in a spray of snow. Beside the brothers, "Don't try to move him," he warned. "He may have a broken bone. I'll go to get my father. He's a doctor. He's on ski patrol today." And then just as suddenly, the boy took off on his snowboard again. Stanley bent down beside his brother. "Does it hurt awfully?" he said. "Do you want me to go get Mom and Dad?" Arthur shook his head. "Just stay here with me until the fellow's father comes, all right?" "Of course," Stanley promised. "I won't leave you." All right, guys, that was Chapter 1. Part 1 of Flat Stanley's worldwide adventure, The Intrepid Canadian Expedition. I thank you all for tuning in to Big Mama Story Time. And this actually was a number 4 book, so it would be for older kids. But children can also read, also sit and listen and read too. I do not discriminate. Anyways, I thank you all for tuning in to Big Mama Story Time. You all have a wonderful day. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my video. Please and thank you. Bye. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my page. Thank you all for tuning in today. Big Mama Story Time. Story time.